After spending 10 years at the Dwarf Academy, Zweihard is summoned to his family home. When he reaches the family lands, his father informs him it is time for him to complete the coming-of-age ceremony. The ceremony requires him to go into the wilds, find the tools and materials to assemble an item of excellent quality. So soon, Zweihard sets out with his trusted goat, loaded up with arms and armour, and it is not long before he finds 2 hobgoblins, the ancient and most hated of his people's enemies, standing over a corpse. Without hesitation, he smites them and examines the body. He finds it is a halfling cleric of Seor, the same deity he worships. He studies the belongings of the departed holy man and finds a sphere of mithril amongst various other sundry goods. He also finds a map sewn on the inside of the halfling's pack with a location marked with the symbol of Seor, so Zweihard decides to try and find the location and loads the body onto goat. The journey takes many days, but eventually he finds a small valley with a ruined keep where he camps. The next morning, before he even completes his morning prayers, orcs come sniffing around the campsite. He slays all but one, who manages to escape. He explores the area and soon comes across an abandoned mine, which Zweihard decides to investigate. Inside he finds some strange eggs, a suspiciously detailed statue, and a lizard he recognizes as a basilisk, so he quickly leaves. He continues his explorations and eventually stumbles on a hidden underground forge. And while exploring, he finds his holy symbol is glowing, causing his wounds to knit and heal. He decides that he was meant to find this place and sets up camp and finally lays the halfling to rest. He also notices the longer he stays in the area, the brighter his holy symbol glows. And during his explorations, he hears a mysterious voice call his name. He tries to find the source of the voice, but finds no one. He notices a lump of unrefined mithril has appeared on a nearby workbench. Zweihard feels the presence of the divine, and he hears a single command: "Forge me." While deciding what to do next, Zweihard feels a tug to the west. He decides to answer the call, so travels westward until he stumbles across a small village, along with a hobgoblin riding on a giant scorpion. Zweihard decided to bring destruction to this fiend. After he dealt with the villain, he finds bags of brand new dwarven forged weapons, some coal, and food. He also finds a disc with a flame on the hobgoblin's body. He returns to his valley with the loot and plans his next steps. Is Zweihard on a divine quest? What further challenges will he need to overcome? Do basilisks make good neighbours? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dicing with Death. How are you guys doing today?
Hello. Us guys are doing fine. How are you guys doing?
We's guys are pretty good. We live right near Boulder Creek, and it was hot yesterday.
Don't give out too much information.
Right. Well, Boulder Creek's a long creek, but so we got those big inflatable tubes that we used for my 30th birthday, and we just went and just floated down Boulder Creek until we hit a waterfall, and then hopped out and hiked back up and floated back down and hiked up and floated down. So nice. There were a ton of other people doing the same thing, and then just a bunch of people on the sides, and it was pretty fantastic, actually. It was a lot of fun. Someone had this huge swan inflatable tube that was 7 feet across with this neck that came up 4 feet into the air.
Yeah.
These big fake wings. It was pretty funny.
I've seen Actually saw a flamingo when I was on one of the houseboats out at Lake Washington. I was rowing and I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and it's one of those like freak out moments, like, what is going on here? Giant pink thing. Okay, what?
Okay. Yeah.
What manner of beast is this? Oh, just a giant inflatable pink flamingo, you know.
Oh, it's not a big deal.
Large enough to ride on.
Oh, those are common.
Take that down your river.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fun. That's my life in a nutshell. What about you?
Not too much. I don't know. We played Fro just the other day.
We did.
But I guess we didn't really catch up. Yeah, I was basically driving back into town to make that session. Went camping over the weekend. Yeah,
very exciting.
Parents visiting. So that's
very exciting.
Yep, 4th of July.
Did you guys do anything for 4th of July?
Watched fireworks. Yes, I mean, yeah, we walked a bit of a ways so you could see them, like the big Seattle fireworks.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right.
Anything else, or shall we hop back into Dwarf Lords, Dwarf Forge?
Let's hop back into the dwarfs. Dwarfs or dwarves? The V.
Hold on a sec. I think there's a difference, right?
I don't know.
Right, you can have either. So if it's me and all of my cousins gathered together, it's a bunch of dwarves. But if it's a meeting of the noble dwarven houses, then you have many different dwarven peoples. So that goes to dwarfs, right? Right. A meeting of the dwarfs would be all of the or do I have it backwards? But something like that.
So, like, you might say all the peoples of the world came together for the UN meeting.
But usually you wouldn't say peoples as plural.
Okay, so dwarves is a collection of dwarf, of many dwarfs.
Many dwarf, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas dwarfs are, the collective noun. Something like that.
Maybe that means it's dwarfs. So I don't know. We'll figure it out over the course of this campaign. I'm sure some hoity-toity dwarf will correct me.
Yeah, if any of you are linguistics majors out there, that'd be fantastic. Mm-hmm. You're about the only people who would ever know this.
I think random canon to insert here. I think dwarven pronouns though are gender non-specific. It's not a gendered language, right? You're a dwarf, and that's a bit of the confusion amongst the other races. Right. But a dwarf's a dwarf.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Whatever. A dwarf is a dwarf. And they all have beards, and it gets confusing. You're meeting someone at a bar, you're chatting, you go back, oh my god, we're both males, or oh my god, we're both females. I thought you, oh no, okay, the beard, all right. They all look alike. It's hard to tell the males and females apart. The real problematic, even among the dwarfs of the world. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they come from eggs, I don't know.
Nobody asked, Neal. All right.
Yeah.
Back into our forge here. I don't know where we're picking up, but I do have some spells I want to cast the next chance I get to rest and rememorize.
Okay. Let's hear them.
So I don't know if we're keeping track. This isn't Fro. You're not tracking the day of the week.
No, I'm not going to track the day of the week.
Roll for the weather.
It's
so at some
dry and windy. Always.
Always. So next chance I get to rememorize spells, I'll go ahead and memorize Analyze Balance, Detect Evil, and Detect Magic. So we had that lovely recap.
Okay.
But anyways, here I sit in this blessed forge. All seem the events of the past week all seem a little bit surreal, almost too good to be true. And we we dwarfs are a skeptical lot by nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 4 iron coins. I don't have that. Is there any iron anywhere around? Maybe I can't cast Analyze Balance, but at least we'll start with the others. So I would like to set about sort of, I don't know, investigating this place, sensing the presence. Maybe did I talk a little bit? Mostly I think I just cleaned it up and turned it on. I chopped some wood and started a fire.
Right. You collected some coal and some other things too.
Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and cast a Detect Evil, and then I guess we'll just resolve Detect Evil first.
Okay.
This requires my holy symbol, which is a hammer, so I think I go around the forge, tapping it on things. Bing, 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 bing.
Nothing in here comes back evil.
Pounding out for presence of evil. I think this should... Evil or of good in the case of... of the reverse of this spell.
Right.
So I'd have to specifically try and detect good.
Yes.
Maybe I'll do that another time, but... Nothing evil. Not even the burning forge with the halfling ashes in it.
Nope. Nothing evil in here whatsoever.
No evil presences.
Nope.
I'm not on the mithril. And then I'll go ahead and detect magic. Which I think also requires my holy symbol. So this is the same deal.
Sure. In this case, the 3 holy symbols of Saor that are sitting on the forge itself radiate magic. Strong
and remind
magic.
me, were those like etched into the wall, or were they? Did you describe it as an engraving or as a painting?
I don't remember which way I described it, but in my mind right now, it is actual symbols that are like set. Maybe there's like there's some like you would hang a picture on a wall, sort of thing. They can probably be removed.
And they're 3 separate. Pieces. See, 3 separate sources of magic. Are they dim,
each of the many
faint?
peoples of Arcadia have their own symbols for the gods. So this is strong magic coming off of them.
Okay, and there's a 20% chance that I know the sphere. Is that...
Sure.
I think for the case of priests, isn't it... hold on okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you rolled an 80 on the 20. So.
And I think I should get 1 for each if they're 3 separate magic items.
Sure. 50 and 40. No.
Okay. I think I want to go through with this analyze balance. So I do want to try and track down some iron. Are any of my equipment? Is any of my equipment iron? What about my holy symbol? I bet my holy symbol is iron. Right? It cost me 25 gold. I've just pulled up your metal converter.
That's definitely worth
1 pound
more than...
of iron should cost 13.75 copper. Does that sound like I used this thing properly?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not?
Definitely not. 1 pound of... No.
Weight of item 1. Is this not in pounds?
Value of item would be 50 copper.
Why would I don't want the value, I want the weight. I'm thinking...
13.75.
Okay, yeah, that's what I just said. Okay. So that's less than 20, right? That's 13 gold.
That is 13 gold, 75 copper. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds feasible that a 25 GP holy symbol of Saor is probably made of iron. Is most of the rest of my gold my equipment bronze? Is that what we've got going on? Let me see pull up my character sheet. I'm so glad
it should be 1250. That's why the numbers are off. Because iron it costs each iron coin is 25 times the cost of copper. So
you can't put in the weight of an item and do it that way.
You can, but we use the things on the left for that because the item on the thing on the right includes forging costs, includes like labor costs, not just raw material costs.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can just look at the relative cost list on the left-hand side and see that like copper is 1-to-1 for copper and iron is 25-to-1 for copper. Does that table make sense to you?
25 times.
Yeah, and each pound of copper is 50 coins, so 50 times 25 should be 1250.
I don't understand your converter once again, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
We'll have to defer to the DM for all unit conversions, and it will be a divine mystery to our dwarf here.
Okay. There's plenty of iron in your symbol if you wanted to break off a chunk and turn it into coins.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at the rest of my equipment just to remind myself. I was thinking McTacky for the wiki stuff that he's done, because of course I think when I open my character sheets with the wrong program, which my computer was doing by default, as opposed to Adobe, whatever, it was opening them with Max preview, whatever thing, and it would screw up all of the fillables or whatever.
Even if you don't save it.
I think it was automatically overwriting it with its buggy encryption or whatever. I don't know. And so it just like turned all the fillables blank and messes up all the scripts. And it seems like it was immediately saving over it. Anyways, I'm done grumbling. But because the wiki was up, or because I had just sent backups of all the character sheets, they were just like right there to sort that out. Cool. But so everything is bronze, right? The chainmail, my full helm,
Yep.
my buckler. That's what we're defaulting to.
Yep. So, do you feel like you want to chip off a little section of your holy symbol?
Yeah, we're gonna. I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let's see. How much do I? Analyze balance. 4 iron coins, which I toss. The coins are not consumed in the casting. Oh, perfect. So I can even just destroy my holy symbol and reforge it.
Okay.
So I think my goal right now is to get enough equipment working that I can do that before I do that, right? So before I chop my holy symbol up and turn it into coins, I want to make sure I've got enough of the forge working that I can go back and forth. That like I can gather enough wood that I can melt down the iron.
Perfect.
So we're gonna make that our first task. Cool.
Forge away, or what else do you need?
Is that accomplished? Is the forge working?
Forge is up and running. You don't have enough fuel to make anything big with it, but the forge itself has been cleaned and prepped and set aside.
And there's like a small fire going, and I think I need to gather more wood, I guess
you'll need some wood, you'll need some charcoal, and at some point you're probably going to need to replace some of these tools. But it doesn't need to be done immediately. Yeah.
Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is go out into the hills and like gather the appropriate sand to make a mold for a casting. And I imagine that involves some searching, but I'm a dwarf, right? I'm a dwarf with half a mining proficiency. So
there's that riverbed right next to you.
Yeah. So would you like me to roll any sort of check, or is that just something I can go gather?
You can gather sand, no problem. I'll ask you to make a check when it comes to creating the whatever it is that you want to create.
Okay.
Molds and all that jazz.
Sweet. So I gather sand to make molds for a casting, and then I think I can melt. Right, because I've got the coal right off of that hobgoblin body.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
But not enough for anything useful. I think I'm going to need to use some divine inspiration to do anything with that. But I can melt down iron, I think, with the wood burning fire. At least, especially, like, I don't need to, like, smelt it and purify it, right? It's already an iron hammer. I'm just going to melt it down, mold it into some coins.
Yep.
So I get a big enough fire going that I can melt this down. I need some sort of crucible. You said it was cracked, I think, is what you said last time. So you're like, So it's function. It'll be functional for this, but
Yeah, it'll be functional for just the first few things you make, and then it'll probably break.
okay. That seems suspicious. I had a thought. I still don't understand how the item quality works. Bit of a
Yes.
tangent here.
That's fine. It's tangent.
But one thing I had thought is that you can take those quality points away as the item is damaged. So like sometimes you'll be like, you're splashed with acid. How do I decide? Okay, I guess I roll a saving throw for everything. I think it would be appropriate if we're already tracking that to be like, oh, your weapon is splashed with acid. If you have, like, if it has a listed quality, subtract 1. Maybe if it's just a general store bought item, it's just instant destroyed.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like that
Something
idea.
like that. Yeah, because I don't know what else it does. I have noted item qualities, but as far as I can gather, they don't change anything.
What do you have your item qualities noted for?
Everything that I like built pre-campaign. So I've got
You don't have anything with a quality of 25 or higher, though, do you?
I have several, yeah. So my full helm is a quality 27. My chain mail is in 2 pieces. One's a 26 and one's a 25.
Go for it.
This-
Okay.
So I am tracking it. So if
Good.
you need to damage them, I think I'll just subtract from that. But as far as, and are there benefits to having above a 25? Is this a system we've worked out?
Yes,
or
there are. My documents were incomplete, and I need to find the complete ones on it. 1, 25, 30. Okay, keep going. I'll sort this out as we go. So what's the next section that we need? What else do you need to do?
I don't think anything. I think I'm ready to melt down my holy symbol and maybe forge some coins.
All right, so let's forge some coins.
Just trying to think. I'm reading a little on forge temperatures. Trying to figure out if this is indeed possible. Right, like is it the construction of the furnace that you can get wood up to such a high temperature?
It's the construction of the furnace and the materials that you're using for burning, right? You don't want to burn fresh wood or even seasoned wood. You want to burn charcoal because that'll get your flames a lot hotter.
Yeah, but I'm just exactly, but I don't have that now.
Right.
I've just got wood that I've gathered, and I think we're breezing over the fact that it's.
I think Zweihard knows all about the crafting process. You probably can make charcoal yourself. It'll take you a week.
It'll take me 10 million years of high temperatures and pressures.
It'll take you a week to make charcoal.
Oh, charcoal,
Not coal. Yeah, charcoal.
I'm trying to. I feel like there's got to be like an old-timey forging wiki or something. Fuel. Medieval forging is probably what I'm thinking. Right. Do we have some background music, or am I just not in the right place?
It's this dusty, windy, blowing thing.
Okay.
You should be able to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Desert Winds background track.
think you may. Okay. I think I'm reading that wood can get hot enough.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't find anything. This is just some random FAQ. I think that's what the bellows are for, right? You just like force enough air in there.
Mm-hmm.
So are the bellows up and running and everything? So I think if it's a working forge, I can probably just throw enough wood straight in. Coal fires.
Okay.
It's around 3,500. Coal, gas, right? So yeah. I mean, you're always like volatilizing it and burning the gas, right? Even with wood.
Right.
I think like just the shape of the forge, you just funnel enough in at high pressure with the bellows. Okay, so let's make sure all that equipment is working.
Okay.
And I think we've confirmed that it is.
Yes.
And so I guess we get this thing burning and roll our first blacksmithing check.
Yes.
Um,
So you're making
Can I do-
coins. Normally, when you strike coins, you have like a little mold that you
that's
put
what the sand
metal
is
in.
for.
And
So I'm building a mold and
Fantastic.
casting coins. I assume it's all just one check, though, right? You wouldn't want me to make it. We don't want to set the precedent that. I mean, I guess this is the first time I've made coins, but I
Right.
feel like we don't want this campaign to get bogged down with every time you make some mundane object, you have to make
Right.
checks.
We'll have you make one check for the mold, and then you can just say you can strike coins until you're tired of striking coins, and it'll just take time. You just need hot metal and a striker, and you're good. So the check will specifically be for the mold.
And is that going to be this same day?
I think the mold will probably take you at least a day to make proper.
Okay.
You know, you're a
If that
dwarf.
is the
You
case,
really
I
want to
will-
take your time, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. If that is the case, then I will get a chance to pray again in the morning or whatever, do my little 10-minute
Yes.
meditation, dwarf snoring or whatever. And I pray for my spells. So I will have a strength of stone that I can use that will improve my blacksmithing.
Oh.
Only for a couple of minutes, but I assume I can, and use the strength when it's strategically necessary to improve the check.
Yeah.
It doesn't
perfect.
affect weaponsmithing and whatnot, and armorsmithing, which are int-based, but for this... All right, so can I go ahead and roll
Please do. Roll it at the
these
roll your
dice
check.
warm? So ordinarily, my blacksmithing is a 12, which is my strength. With strength of stone cast, it goes up to a 16.
Nice.
So
you
get
make
this mold together,
Yeah.
and then
Tell me whose face is on the mold. Is there any face on the mold? What are the coins that you're designing look like?
I think they're blank. I don't think I would like mint coins with. I think it's just going to be a coin-shaped puck of iron, and it will probably. I'll finish them with a pound of the. Oh, I don't have my holy symbol hammer anymore, so they're just going to be blank. I was thinking there may be like some mark to the holy symbol hammer, and maybe there will be when I remake it. That would have like left something in it, but at this point I don't. I'm just hitting it with an ordinary forge hammer. So I think they're just the coin-shaped iron pucks that will
Perfect.
suffice, forged from a melted down holy symbol of Seor to analyze the balance of this forge. But they're probably pretty precise enough and like level enough that I'll be able to use them to analyze balance.
Sure. So they're nice, precise little
trick.
pucky disc things with no
4
faces
of
on them.
them. Oh, you can make a ton of coins with the head. So the head of even like an semi-ornamental holy symbol hammer, that was probably like a pound.
Yeah,
hammerhead,
you could make
right?
50 coins out of it.
Okay, I don't need to make that many. I even could have, if I had like a really sharp saw, I could have just
saw off little bits of it and then melt them down individually. Yeah.
No, I need it. Okay. All right, so I'll just make the 4 and go about analyzing the balance of this place. So that probably took like a day to make the mold, we said. And then they'll need to cool.
Yep.
They'll probably be usable later that day.
Yeah,
Even plunge them. Is there a source of water?
The creek near you is dry. Water is not flowing through it now.
Okay, I think I've got like a create water spell.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a first level spell. So I can certainly use that to quench. Cool. Okay, so I make the 4 coins, and there's my material components for analyze balance. So I think I go around the forge with the coins, doing odd little dwarf things, balancing them on the various surfaces. Oh no, this
thing is one
bench isn't
category
quite right. Blah blah blah. But at a deeper level, the spell allows me to sense how far a character, creature, object, or area is from a condition of balance. So that will be the area being the forge in its entirety. This magical form. So in other words, I get to know the degree to which it was removed from true neutral. So basically detecting the alignment of the place.
Right.
So how's the balance of this forge?
The forge is very balanced.
Hold on a sec. A priest has a 5% chance per level of correctly determining the direction of variation along one randomly chosen axis.
Right.
So that means I only have a 10% chance.
You have a 10%
but I guess
chance
I get
of
5
knowing
rounds
if it's
plus
off
1 round per level. So I go around the fort for 7 minutes, and I get 7 of these 10% chances. Or you can simplify it however you want.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's even easier because everything is within balance. There's nothing on this forge that is innately good or evil, lawful or chaotic. The forge has no alignment. As far as you're concerned, it's just a regular, mundane forge.
Yeah, and the holy symbols themselves?
The holy symbols themselves, let's see, Sayor is a
I think he's
lawful evil god.
Yeah.
I don't know if his holy symbols themselves would be lawful evil, though. Do you think they would? Do you think the holy symbol of a god reflects the nature of the god? It's a pretty.
I feel a holy symbol on a wall. I wouldn't even know. Right. I'm not even right. It'd be one thing if you were looking at a cleric of a god wielding the holy symbol of that god.
Right.
But if you're just looking at it, I mean,
I think they are non.
It depends on the symbol, though. Think like a flayed and boiled bone hand. Holy symbol of Verasi. That's out of balance, right? Right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay, so maybe not. Maybe the holy symbol in and of itself should.
I think the holy symbol is not aligned.
Nothing's okay. Everything is well balanced. So this doesn't feel like some cosmic trick. It seems like there genuinely is this blessed forge out here in the hills.
Yeah.
That I've been summoned to.
Found on your own? Summoned? Led? Who knows?
Yeah. It's all very strange, but I will go ahead and answer the call of the mithril. So that's my next big project, is investigating mithril. So I believe there's the ball, right? And I'm going to want to play with that before I mess with it, right? So I don't know, weigh it and roll it around, see how spherical it is. And then I also have some ore. Is that correct?
Yes.
That was on the hobgoblin?
Yes. Did we establish what type of ore that was?
It was mithril ore.
That was on not the hobgoblin, that was on the halfling.
No, the halfling had a mithril sphere.
No,
right? Or was it the other way around?
No. The large amount of mithril, the sphere was found here. shit, you found some mithril on the halfling, and you found some mithril in the forge. And I think the larger quantity was found in the forge, and the small quantity was found on the halfling.
Okay. Sure.
So whatever the shape may have taken, that's the way it was done.
Okay. And then the goblin had the coal, the coke.
Coke,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's play with the sphere a little bit, like roll it around. None of these came up on any of my. So I've done a detect magic, a detect evil, an analyze balance.
There is not nothing aligned in this place.
Right. So if this were some vile trick of Malchus to, bring chaos into the world and like trick me into forging some hellish weapon.
Right.
I would know that this mithril was not of this plane, right?
Yeah, I mean, you still might be tricked into forging a hellish weapon, but the materials that you're making it out of are mundane.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll the ball around. Is it a perfect sphere, as if it were like right, or right, like it were molded perfect, or did you just describe it as a round?
It's a round thing, but it's
pure.
Definitely
It's a pure metal. Is that
yes?
the case?
It is a pure lump of mithril.
How much does it weigh?
I think it plus the extract from the ore comes out to a pound. I think the sphere is just under a pound, and the amount in the ore is just over a pound. Is well under a pound. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess so. All right, I need the iron back, so I'm gonna remake my holy symbol, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna melt down all the iron coin. Oh. Can I Yeah, I will. So I'm gonna keep those 4 iron coins, I guess, and try and reforge my holy symbol with slightly less iron. Iron can't really be alloyed with. I guess I can try and. I'm a proficient blacksmith. I can, and as well as a cleric. Normally you need several clerics to make a holy symbol, but this already was a holy symbol, and I'm doing crafty or say-y things, so I think but I will. All right, so I'm gonna write down 4 iron coins. Actually, I can just write that down on my wealth, huh?
Yep.
All right, and then my holy symbol, so I will need to make like a new mold for that.
Right, so you'll need some.
So this will be another day ticking by. I might as well use my, divinely given strength of stone. Save up my last reserve of power for the swings that count.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why having improved strength helps me make these molds better, but lets you pack the sand in tighter. One final shove.
It's all about the confidence, right? You feel your muscles grow, and you're like, "Yeah, sure. I can do it." It's pumping you up. It's like. It's like when you take your steroids before you go to the gym, and you got that like extra. It's not so much that they help you.
I don't know what
it's the
that's
confidence
like.
that comes with it.
I botched this.
The holy symbol mold.
Yeah. Does that mean I need to wait to try again?
No, you can just keep making it. It's just a matter of time.
It's just burning. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, a lot of the forging things are just time issues.
And in this case, it's just like a sand mold or whatever, so it's not even resources.
So you probably end up like baking it wrong. You take it out and it's cracked, and you have to recreate the mold and find some clay, maybe mix it in a little bit better.
I spent some time doing this. I will also pray for a bless, which I need a holy symbol for, but there's 4 on the wall. There's 3 on the wall. I'll use one of those. Duh. Probably don't even need to make this into a holy symbol, but I'm going to go ahead and return it back into my sacred forging hammer. So I'll pray for a bless spell.
It is
given. If there's anything else I want to. All right, so I want to bless. Maybe this is where I'll start with use the create water for some divine quenching. Is there anything else you would do to? What else do you do to make a holy symbol? It's bless. Holy water is
holy water. You need create water, purify food and drink, and bless at the same time.
Purify food and drink. Purify. Can you purify? I'll give it a try. I'm going to memorize purify food and drink.
I think creating a holy symbol, you just need to bless it during its creation in a place that would be considered sacred to your god.
Yeah, setting is relevant, but I'll try anyway. So I'll memorize the 3. I've got 3 first level spell slots. So maybe this, yeah. So I memorize purify food and drink, create water, bless. I melt down the iron once I've got a mold. So I need to make another check, right? Let me. So
yes, you'll need another check.
At least okay. So 2 days of fussing with the molds. I melt down the iron. I'm gonna cast purify food and drink on the iron. I don't know if that. I don't know if that purifies molten iron, but. Does it? Is it at all effective? Or do I guess I'll know at the end of the whole process?
It's not going to purify it in a smithing way. It's not going to, like, you know, get rid of the unpleasant things.
Come on, it's a spell slot. I like to think it helps the impurities settle out to the top or something. And
maybe we should give you.
I don't need a bonus, but I mean, it's
right.
Yeah.
Maybe there should probably be. Maybe purify food and drink can also be used, or maybe there's a variant casting of it that is purify. Metals or purify ore. Maybe that's a separate spell that should just be a first level spell. Yeah, that's one thing I did kind of want to do today is research some spells. I hadn't thought of a purify ore spell, but yeah, if we
want to start warming up the spell editing engine. How much money does it usually cost to research spells? Was it 100 GP per spell level, or am I off by like an order of magnitude?
That doesn't sound wrong. That sounds about right.
I'll have to we'll check in on it in the break.
Okay. Let me get our spell creation engine up and running.
So past the blacksmithing, so I can I make the hammer mold. Purify the molten iron. Cast it. Create water to quench it divinely. And then bless it and like pound it out or whatever, and work it into the proper to finish it off, to harden it and fix it back. I think it had like a wooden handle or whatever that it was affixed to, so I'll spend. And do I need, so is that the only check I need to make, or do I make a
I'm gonna
is
ask
that just for the mold and now I need to make one for the
for the actual hammer? You'll need a check as well.
I should have saved the 34 for the hammer. Oh, I fail.
Yeah,
so
you really fail. You
spill
the metal all over the place. You break the mold. We don't have to we can just say it takes you some time. It definitely doesn't get finished right away.
Yeah, so I think I have to go through that whole process again. Wait to restart the next day, go through my prayers, meditate and focus on this. I think I forgot to hum to the metal as I forged it. So that was something they teach at Dwarf Academy. Humming. Dwarves aren't good singers, but the metal does the singing. But as you're pounding it, gonna grunt at it just right and sow that magic into the steel.
Purify
so let's try a couple
ore
again.
Would be an alteration spell, right?
Yeah. I don't even know what the effects are going to be. I guess we could model it after the purify food and drink. Spoiled, rotten, poisonous, otherwise contaminated. I was all ready to just call it a drink. Anything's a drink if you're brave enough, right?
Yeah.
Up to 1 cubic foot can be made suitable for consumption. Right?
So I'm going to say alteration spell, verbal, material, and somatic components. The material components are just going to be the metals that you're working to purify, and they're not consumed. It's alteration, range is 30 feet, duration's half an hour, casting time is a full round, and it affects 1 pound of metal per level.
Do you want to go by weight? Sure.
Yeah, I was going to do weight. That's just an easier way with doing metals than trying to calculate volumes. And then the description is
unholy water or similar food and drink is spoiled. Okay, so I think so. So purify food and drink can can be unholy water can be negated by purify food and drink. So I think if you had like a cursed weapon that you needed to reforge, maybe you would do this on the melted down whatever to banish whatever evil spirit or something.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Cool. So why don't I just go ahead and roll some checks to see how many days this takes. So I guess it's one. I'll do one check a day. Okay. Actually, I can't do it at a 20. To memorize the 3 spells, I can't have my boosted strength. So that's only a 22. But it should still be a success.
Yeah, as long as it will roll a 1, your mold isn't broken.
Then I did break the mold yesterday.
Yeah.
So I need to make it. So that was just for the mold.
That's the mold, right?
So I could have actually had it boosted, and then for the actual hammer, it's quality 29.
Perfect.
Nice. So I have So I've reforged my holy my hammer, which is good because that's the hammer that I usually use to like finish to bless items.
Right.
Tap, ding, 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 ding them just at the very end. Resonate them at the right frequencies with a few good holy taps from the iron forging hammer. And cool. So now we need to set about the mithril.
Right.
And I think to get that melted down, I'm gonna have to. Well, I don't know. I mean, let's play with it. Okay. Can I melt it in the? So I guess the first thing I try to do is to purify the ore. So I need to clean out the crucible of iron, so I don't contaminate it. That's probably some days, like a day to let it cool down, and then. Chat's talking about blacksmithing, which is awesome. Yeah. So the hammer, like the hammer was just cast as a head and then worked into the. So I did succeed, right? So okay. So
yes. So
full order to make the holy symbol, purify ore, whatever, purify drink, or modified spell, followed by a create water to quench the billet or whatever that the cast iron bit, and then that would have been hammered out with the forge hammers that are around, or maybe rocks if that and worked, right?
Yes.
Cool.
All right, you should now see...
how it worked. Blessed, and I have a quality 29 holy symbol.
Yes.
I don't know if the 29 changes anything for weapons, but
it
I
does.
Use this as a weapon.
If you do, it has a +1 to its flexibility, giving it a saving throw against breaking or acid or anything like that. Flexibility, maybe not the right word for a hammer. I designed these with a sword in mind.
If that's the sort of effects you were thinking, it almost seems like I can just keep that 29. And like if you acid splash it, right, subtract from there.
Yeah.
Is there any other benefits you were thinking to high quality ore?
So I did these with swords in mind, and I think we can just transfer the properties to other things, but the names might need to be changed. But I've got 4 categories that improve. The hardness is what I'm tagging it as, which increases the die size on critical hits. The flexibility, which increases the bonus against breaking or acid or anything like that. The balance, which changes the number you need to clear by to crit. And the sharpness, which will give it a bonus to damage, but then that you'll have to like sharpen it in between battles. Because we're doing our weird AC system where armor absorbs HP or absorbs damage rather than prevents it, I was going to say that your first to crit you need to clear by 10. Doesn't have to be a natural 18 or higher, just clear by 10 on the first blow. So a lot of things are going to be AC 10 through 13, so a 20 through a 23 is going to usually be a crit.
Okay, you're right, because the crit just... I still think it should be a natural 18, 19, 20. No? Or even like a natural 20. Okay, so Yeah. So the way I wasn't sure what your plan was going to be here with this crafting system was. My plan was going to be to make a spell around for the weapons that I was forging and use that to give weapons properties. And what you just described seems kind of similar. I mean, the things I was thinking of would be like crit effects on a weapon.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can definitely do that too, but we'll probably have to come up with those on the fly.
Yeah.
In combat. Sounds like
fun.
Well,
I mean, so I was thinking I was going to research a spell. It'd probably be like a second level spell, like a hellish halberd, and it's you enchant a halberd to have these critical effects. And the things I was thinking of would be like a bleeding effect, or a maiming effect, which would basically be like a slow spell, or a stunning effect based on a table. And just have like in the spell description, be like, if you get an 18, 19, or 20, roll a d10. Here's the effects, and like the higher you roll on that d10, you get, and then an alternate use of the spell would be to like enchant the weapon to attack, as it's to attack automatically in combat, right? So we can talk about that if I wind up researching the spell. But I think what I want to use the mithril for, I was going back and forth on. I originally thought holy symbol, then I was going to use it to do this halberd spell because I feel like material components would need to be something like mithril or something equally divine. But then I was thinking I think what I settled on is to do a piece of armor with it, because that's what I have a proficient. I don't get a weaponsmithing or full weaponsmithing, I think, until I get another proficiency slot, which I think is next level. I think priests get it at level 3, but maybe I'm wrong. Might be 4.
Fighters get it at 3. Priests get non-weapon proficiency at 3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're fine.
So I need to gain a couple experience before I can weaponsmith. I think the mithril is going to be turned into a piece of armor. It's 1 pound. So I want to. Okay, so can I melt? How does mithril behave? Let's investigate some of its physical properties, shall we? Can I melt? Sure. So I spend the day cleaning the crucible, getting it ready. Can I melt mithril in this crucible?
You're definitely going to need a hotter
or in this. Okay, so I'm going to need to use the coat to melt the mithril down.
Yeah, mithril has a very high melting point.
Okay.
So you're probably actually going to need to collect more coke, more charcoal.
Or my plan was going to be to do a log of everburning on the coal that I do have. And then that would be a one and done. That'd be like it burns hot for however many hours, and then it's all consumed.
Right.
So I think I'm just going to gamble like that, which means I need to prep everything else beforehand.
Okay.
I do want to ask, like, I can play with the ball though. That's already pure mithril. What's its density like? Is it? I guess that's probably light. On your metal
very
converter.
Light. Yeah.
It's very light.
Very. It is like a quarter light of the density of copper.
Okay. Okay, so how does that work for converting item sizes? So if I say wanted to make a piece of armor out of mithril, how do I determine how much mithril I need?
We'll take the weight of the item in copper, and then we multiply it by
copper.
Then we multiply it.
So we're just using copper for bronze.
Yeah, copper, bronze.
So if I've got, for example, a 4 pound item,
4 times
if I put in 4,
you need 1.12 pounds of mithril to make something that would normally be 4 pounds in copper alloy.
Does your converter not work like this? I can't put it. It's got a weight of item. If I put in 4, that doesn't convert 4 pounds.
If you put in weight of item as 4 and value of item as like 100, it'll tell you how much it costs to buy that item from someone. But you can just look. There's the third to last column has the density relative to copper. Yeah, sure. So just multiply whatever you need by 0.28. Yeah.
So I would need, okay, just over 1 pound
Right, 1.12.
to make a mithril full helm.
Right. And you're estimating that you've got about a pound of mithril in front of you.
So I could almost make the whole thing, not quite. So I think what I'm going to do is use my helm as like the base and build a mithril like face guard onto it.
So you're going to build
because
like
it's
mithril
so close. I mean, it
face
rounds
plate.
down to 1 pound. Yeah. So I think it's still going to be built with bronze.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to need to work on that casting. I think we're coming up on a break, so maybe we'll wrap it up here. But yeah, so I think the first real thing we're going to forge is a mithril helm, and it's going to be probably more of like a crown face modification for the helm that I've already got. And we'll give that a try after 5 minutes or so.
Sure.
Got anything else you wanted to do this first
this is
segment?
a good,
or we good?
This is a good first segment, yeah. We'll be back with something else, some forging and some more exploring. So we'll see you guys on the other side of a break. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.